Sorry about that. Anyway, welcome back. This is Demon09 bringing you for another countdown list. This time, I have something incredibly unique in store for all of us. Now, what I can possibly say is DreamWorks' magnum opus, the best animated features I've ever seen them do, or any animation company do, would be the How to Train Your Dragon series. Yeah, we all know all about this franchise, it growing in popularity, especially with How to Train Your Dragon 2, where we are introduced to Hiccup's mother, as well as some new dragons. And then we learn there's something bigger than the Red Death. So, in honor of How to Train Your Dragon, then, and suggested by my little sister Elena, I've composed a list of the top 5 best and worst dragons from the franchise. Now, these dragons, and I'm about to talk about, are both come from either the TV series, is Riders of Birth, or the movies themselves, or they originated from. And I am placing them in the order where they are in, based on powers and capabilities, size, usefulness, weaknesses, and above all else, danger level. With that being said, let's go on to the top 5 worst dragons. We kick things off with the Smothering Smokebreath. Before I try to say that 5 times fast. The Smothering Smokebreath is a Stoker class, no, mystery class dragon, and it has the ability to envelope itself in smoke in order to hide from enemies or victims. Because of this ability, and because they fly in groups, they form what is known as a fog monster. And as Hiccup and the others realize, smoke breaths have a weakness for collecting shiny objects, which they merge together or into nests, as by using their fire similar to a welding torch. The design is actually pretty interesting too. They're only slightly larger than the Terrible Terror, but these things still pack a punch. With that being said, let's move on to number 4, which is sorry, I'm also looking on the wiki, because there are some dragons she forgot to mention. At number 4 is a certain type of dragon, and that's familiar in design to the. Oh, here it is. At number 4, it's the Hot Purple, all from the second movie. In other words, this is Gobbler's dragon. Belonging to the same class as is the Glauco Boulder class, the Hot Purple has the ability to fire chunks of lava. and can bludgeon enemies with the club on the end of its tail. Unfortunately, though, this thing is more lazy than the Bronco. Oh, and because of its class, the hot purple eats iron and ore, which is actually kind of funny. In a way. Yeah, according to the movie Wiki, it said that they're related to the Bronco and might actually be a subspecies. She's in the movie. The dragon is pretty much lazy and barely does anything, and except lazily using the bludgeon on the end of its tail. Oh, it's kind of like a club. That being said, move on to number 3, which is the Flightmare, or from the TV series. The Flightmare is an interesting type of dragon. Again, because it's one of the few dragons that can glow in the dark. Or about as big as a Night Fury, or at least that's what I can get out of it. The Flightmare is a mystery class dragon. And only comes out and feeds on bioluminescent algae. It paralyzes its prey as enemies using a mist that freezes them. And as it turns out, in the series, any dragon that eats this algae also gains the ability to glow in the dark. Interesting. Didn't know to know that. Now, the reason why it's one of the worst dragon species in the franchise is mostly because it only features in one episode, and there's not really a whole lot explained about it, other than the fact that because of the asterisk family name, and it has basically hit the earth. At number 2, it's the Fireone. Now, if you've seen the TV series, you pretty much know what the Fireones are. They're dragons smaller even than the Terrible Terror, worm-like in appearance, except for multiple legs, and have the ability to burn hotter than the sun. And why is it's so high up on the worst list? Well, mostly because of the fact that despite being able to light themselves on fire, fireworms are pyrophobic. In other words, they're afraid of fire. Oh, the bitter irony. A Stoker class dragon being afraid of the one thing it can use. And compared to their queen, they are pretty weak. Now, as for number 1, before I get to number 1, I have an honorable mention and for the worst list. That is the Hobble Grunt, which is seen in the second movie. And the only thing I can gather up from this dragon is that it looks like a dinosaur, or with the abilities of a chameleon, in which it can blend in any background it chooses, kind of like the changeling. that being said, number one is the Terrible Terror. These chihuahua-sized dragons, and it's gotta be the worst creature in the series. Not only because they're small, but they basically are like pets. They're small enough where you can actually keep them in your house. And as they said in the movie, in the series, one is okay to deal with. But when you get about 50 or more of them together, they are quite the problem. Not only that, but according to the wiki, their sniper or like accuracy and makes them create his best sharpshooters. So that's it for the top 5 worst dragons. And now it's on to the top 5 best. And by best, I mean these are the dragons that stand out the most. And are the most popular, at least in my eyes. At number 5, we have the Monsterous Nightmare. They're not loud, but it's dragon, and of choice. It's Hookfang. The reason why the Monsterous Nightmare is this low on the best list is because is out of every dragon that actually was useful, and interesting, the Monsterous Nightmare's ability to light itself on fire, or because of the kerosene-like gel on its skin, it makes it pretty interesting. I mean, yeah, the deadly net or has the ability to shoot with the quills from its tail, or like arrows, and it has the hottest flames of any dragon. And the hideous Zippleback has the ability to even breathe gas and light it via causing an explosion. But the Monsterous Nightmare that stands out the most, also due to its design. A crocodile-like head on a skinny neck, with a pterosaur-like body, you find. Especially, you find it interesting that you can ride these things by holding onto their horns, or like the handlebars of a motorcycle. And it's not now, it is mentioned in the series, Monsterous Nightmare is to get rough housed. Since they're pretty tough. At number 4, it's a tie between the Screaming Death and the Whispering Death. Technically, the Screaming Death is a subspecies of the Whispering Death, at least according to the wiki. In the series, the Deaths have the ability to burrow underground by using their teeth like a turbine drill. Or is it a combine drill? I have to forget what it is. The Screaming Death, however, is much larger than the Whispering Death and more dangerous. While the Whispering Death can burrow underground, it has the ability to have its wings rotate around its body, as well as having the ability of shooting its own spines. And the Screaming Death fires shots like a machine gun, and has enough power to sink an island. And in the series, in its first appearance, nobody knew what to call this thing until Rough Nut and Tough Nut came up with the name. Due to the Screaming Death's one and major characteristic, it has the ability to unleash a powerful scream in or shriek that it basically kind of dazes other dragons. And unlike the Whispering Death, which is deterred by any bright lights, the Screaming Death is attracted to bright lights or shiny objects. Which is also a big weakness of it, including its size. And speaking of size, like I mentioned in my Halloween list, at number 3, it's the Red Death, Sea Dragonus Giganticus Maximus. At least that's what it's called in the How to Train Your Dragon Wiki. The main antagonist and the largest dragon of the first movie, the Red Death is somewhat of the queen of the dragons. And if you see it in my list, you pretty much know what I'm talking about. On that, go on to number 2, which is the new king of dragons. Literally, king. In the Bewilder Beast. The largest dragon in the entire franchise. Bigger than the Red Death. It's Hiccup's mother explains to him when he first meets this beast, or should I say behemoth, every dragon can meet a king and to protect them, while the queen is there to terrorize them. And the wildebeest is, at least in Hiccup's mother's perspective, is a kind, gentle ruler. In fact, even when their baby skeletal claw is playing around a bit, it doesn't mind. It did. And the reason why I put this high up on the best list, is because not only of its size, is not only because of the fact that it can blow streams of freezing water, which can turn a desert like here in New Mexico into Alaska, but in the movie, instead of one giant, there are 2. And unlike Galka as Bewilderbeast, the villain, and Drago or Bloodfist Bewilderbeast is more intimidating. And if we actually get to see another power of it, the ability to control other dragons, mainly through eye contact. Because of the Bewilderbeast's ability to stare down on any dragon into submission and to control them. Unfortunately, this leads to the death of one of the most memorable characters in the series, both in the movies and in the TV series. Hiccup's father, Stoic. Now, when I took my sisters to see this movie, I thought it was going to be cool because we get to see these new dragons. And we finally get to meet Hiccup's mother. She's been hinted so many times. It's that getting kind of tiring trying to imagine what she would look like. Thank God for DreamWorks that's come up with this movie. But man, for a movie as awesome as this, it was also kind of heartbreaking at times. As it turns out, Hickham's mother has been gone since since her title, like her main dragon, Cloud Jumper, abducted her and took her back to the new dragon nest, which is housed by the water beast. And also, her dragon's the reason why he has a scar, or as it turns out. In fact, I didn't even know he had a scar until it was mentioned. But anyway, back to the behemoths. Unfortunately, though, Valka, the water beast, dies after Dragos stabs it in the underbelly with its tusks. Right. One of the two little, little best dragons in this whole movie dies. He's in the middle of battle. But that's okay. Because we have a number one that's going to surprise a lot of you. It might not be that big of a surprise. But before we go on to number one, I have a couple of honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is for the top 5 best dragons are the Skrill and the Thunder Drum. The Skrill belongs to the same class as the Night Fury Strike. And it's an honorable mention because of its power/weakness. The Skrill has the ability to shoot lightning instead of fire. However, though, it must recharge during thunderstorms. And its first and probably only appearance, the Skrill has also the ability to lie dormant and then hibernate for long periods of time, using its inner body heat in its insulation. And then, according to the wiki itself, well, the Skrill has also the ability to fly at supersonic speed by running in lightning and bolts. As for the Thunder Drum, for this dragon, and it's very interesting. Unlike the Skuldring, which actually does belong on the title class, seeing that its power revolves around water. The Thunder Drum has the ability to unleash powerful sound blasts. When we first see the Thunder Drum, when Stella wants a dragon of his own. And when we finally get to see how big one of these things are, it's almost kind of disappointing. And because his height alone, it's probably no bigger than Toothless. But about a quarter or more in length. But when we saw the giant size Thunder Drums in the movie, that put it in perspective. Especially since, according to Gobbler, that when a Thunder Drum hatches and it issues a sound like an owl in the sky. Note to self: when Himmel and Thunder drums, use earplugs. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, my number one best dragon. And drum roll, please. Number one, the Night Fury. Jacob's dragon and Toothless. I love the design of the Night Fury. It is one of the best dragon designs I've seen in a while. So, for almost having no unique markings or anything like that, the Night Fury is one of the most interesting dragons in the series for a number of reasons. One, because of its black skin, it can camouflage well at night. Two, it has retractable teeth, which only come out when it needs to feed or when it's angry. Three, it fires plasma fire or pulse. Or it can use echolocation. And five, it's one of the fastest dragons in the series, at least in flight. And six, it's powerful enough to take down a Red Death and a Bewilderbeast. It is now the new Alpha Dragon. Yeah, I'm sorry if I kind of spoiled the ending into how to find Ender Dragon 2, but this is just too awesome to keep following up. In the second movie, Hiccup tries to get Toothless to fly by himself without his help, especially after the little accident in the first movie where Hiccup ended up severing half of Toothless's tail fin, which acts as a rudder in flight. As for her behavior of Toothless, at first he's kind of like a cat in a way, which I find kind of funny, as my cat is very curious at times. And according to the wiki, Night Furies are one of the most intelligent dragons ever created or ever known. Well, in the movie, he gains a couple of new abilities. It is thanks to Velka. She presses a part of his neck or head, which splits his back plates in two. I have no idea what that does. I've looked on the wiki myself. I can't find any function for that. And at one point in the movie, being near the end, and Toothless not only saves Hiccup again, but because of Drago's Bewilderbeast almost freezes Hiccup to death, Toothless becomes so enraged that patches his body start lighting up, including the inside of his mouth, a bright blue. And manages to blast off one of the giant's tusks, scaring it so badly it retreats back to the sea, taking Drago with it. Unfortunately, though, because of the Night Fury's power, there are a few things that could be taken notice. Unfortunately, in the second movie, Toothless killed Stomach. Not of his own free will, though, but after being controlled by Drago's Bewilderbeast. like I said, this movie had some very epic moments and some very sad, tear-jerking moments. We're happy to see the Hiccup finally meets his mother. And we're also happy that they're a family again. Basically, this movie is just full of pros and cons. Like, yay, new dragon! And, oh, the wiki, it doesn't describe most of them. Cool, there's two new giants. Oh, bummer, one of them dies. And it's all we get to meet in Hiccup's mother. Oh no, we get to lose father. No, stuff like that. But anyway, the Night Fury, one of the most well-known dragons in the How to Train Your Dragon series, this franchise, and the number one best dragon. I'd like to thank my sister Elena again for suggesting this. And I'd like to wish my little sister Ava happy birthday. At least I remembered her birthday. One of our parents forgot it. And it's not the one you would expect to forget. Tune in next time, and as I take on my greatest challenge in terms of countdown, of the villains of DreamWorks. If there are any dragons that you want to let me know on, or if there are some facts about these dragons I forgot, and leave them in the comment section below. Or post them to me on my Facebook page. Subscribe to my videos. Subscribe to my channel. Thumbs up my video. I will see you sometime in the future. This is DBreal981 and saying so long, and once again, happy birthday, Ava.